least you know, right?
As well.
It's such a huge takeaway from Zayn. I'm so glad they didn't let him have that.
Amazing. I
Yeah,
hate that.
he's actually been
I
just a huge menace
fucking
in the
hate that shit.
qualifiers. It's basically been to the point that if they're going to allow him have it, you basically kind of signed your own death warrant there. So
Right.
they take it away. The only problem here is where it's going to be played. I haven't seen too much of Shark playing that. I'm not a huge fan of the Fredrin in other positions other than a
I think I might
jungle.
move
We're
to
going to
the
see where it
recording
lines
music,
up
actually.
here. I just feel like
So
he's
random
more
people don't
useful
tell
in
me.
other things there. We do see that Shark going ahead and securing that Lolita, one of his, his brand picks that he was actually able to enforce into M3. So a very good and comfortable pick for him.
Yeah, I love him on Lolita. He feels very comfortable in it, and the team plays different around him when he has that. And I think it's so good.
It's Ohio Brothers versus BTK first.
And it allows
Oh,
them
they. Oh my
this
god.
should provide them with Lolita and the Fredrin passage through the river very early, so that they can get to these ganks.
There's no way they played
quicker
this match
than
first.
the BTK will be able to match up, at least in the early and mid game.
Yeah, there's been some murmurings about how these side lane matchups are going to be. I technically kind of have it in favor of BTK with some of those side lane matchups, but with a Farja.
Oh god, dude, they shoot fast as fuck. They shoot so fast.
Rotations, the support to those side lanes to maybe cover up some of those weaknesses in the side and get you that early start that you need to kind of enforce your will against BTK, who is known to see a little bit of trouble if it comes from an early aggression. They sometimes can kind of stutter trying to pick the game up from there.
Yeah, I wanted to actually look at Mobazane's pick here, and if Fetchin's gone, he usually goes to the Akai. I wonder what would happen if the Akai wasn't available and it's his third pick, but he does get that neutral objective control for the team, and BTK as a whole plays, Mobazane teams in general, play so well around early game jungle control, and he really controls the river, controls farm.
Why is my mic so quiet?
Of the game, and I'm really...
Nah, we're at 200. Why is it so quiet? I don't know. Maybe it's just quiet for me.
Really looking for a team.
The obvious pickup for me would have been the Diggy, but we already have our support out there. The Roam is already out there.
Yo, Nemo,
so, I mean,
can you check my stream for me? Does it sound really quiet, or is that just my PC?
I don't think so. So it's going to be very interesting to see how this plays in, because this is where they actually had trouble last time. They picked an Akai, but they left it open for their opponents to have the Valentina. So even though the Akai's heavy spin was getting blocked, Valentina had a heavy spin of their own. Now they have the Valentina and Akai together. So they're going to have not just that, but you also have the availability of a feathered airstrike and a Numenon blast on your side to be able to take from the enemy there. So it's going to be very interesting to see how this stacks up.
Yeah, big, I think, draft out of BTK in the first 3 picks. I love it. I think Hoon has a rotation advantage in the mid, but throughout the rest of the draft, I really like the first 3 picks of BTK. They've banned out some marksmen here, while on the other side, the Ohio Brothers have actually targeted the XP lane. So T is going to have a little bit of pinned optimization here. The Glue's gone, the YZ's gone, the Lop is gone, and he's been a very strong contender on all 3 of those picks. Looking to see what he goes to as his 4th pick in this draft.
Yeah, I think a big amount of contention has been the Yureshi taking on Lord T in the XP lane. Who is really going to be coming out on top? Which is very interesting for me, because
Nemo, can you tell me if my stream sounds quiet, or is it just me?
It can be a boring lane where not a lot happens, and you don't really get the highlights that you want if you're doing your job like perfectly and correctly. You're just pushing your tower, making sure your team has that pressure in that lane. But this has been a big spot of contention, as North America's been wondering. Lord T, Yureshi, who are we going to go with here? And it does look like we're already taking the steps forward from the Ohio Brothers to kind of ban out some of those characters that T is known for.
Ooh, a Ling. I never thought we would see the Assassin into, but that gives a lot of split push availability, and of course, Basic goes to that carry once again. We've seen him very comfortable on carry, played a lot of series games on carry, but I do believe that Unity will have advantages in the lanes at certain power spikes, and that sniper advantage for Mage. I think the Ling plays into Akai very well. You don't have
I usually sell them for GA.
Over him if you need. It also gives the Ohio Brothers split push pressure, right? They have the ability, and this against Fredrin's in the XP lane.
It is, but it's an extra life, an extra life, an extra life.
So quickly, BTK can't keep up with that pace.
Like the fact he died.
Yeah, and that is something to be talking about as we get into the late game, there that you could have the split pushing from Ling and still have the presence at the Lord for him to get back there so quickly. And it's going to come down to see how fast that BTK can kind of get the advantage and kind of close it out. We do have a little bit of late game pressure there from Luna on this.
Who said that?
Is that the chosen one?
That's spicy.
That was some loser shit, bro. I was about to be like, what the fuck? I thought somebody was saying that to you.
You need that early game advantage. If you start lacking it, you're gonna have a little
I can't tell if my stream sounds really quiet or not.
And I think Masha
This
and
is going on,
Shogun
man.
so well, so mobile, so
Does it sound
quick to
quiet?
run into the jungle and cause honestly havoc for Higher Brothers.
Yes,
In the
I do.
draft right now, I
The
really
stream
think
sounds a bit
BTK is
quiet,
right.
yes.
What do you think,
Okay.
man?
Yes, I do.
They're gonna be so. You're just gonna be like, wait, what game are they talking about?
It does sound a bit quiet. Interesting. Why is that?
Yo, Gummy is queuing, dude. Hold on.
We're going to have to see how this Ling is played. It's going to be very interesting, especially with these early rotations out. This could slip into Ohio's favor.
The game is already
When's the last time we
started.
seen a Masha game, though? This is truly a treat to start off the season here. Masha in game
Should've
one,
hurry up.
day one of the NACT Spring Series. What are we looking at, Private?
Yeah, and this is just going to be an amazing game. We're already talking about it. You see Shark already pressuring onto this purple buff, trying to make sure that they have the vision, have that pressure onto Zane, who sometimes does have a little bit of issues when it comes to this early invades and early pressure that comes onto his teams. We're going ahead, starting some damage on there. Shark's going to be able to get out with about half health there. Worse for wear.
Yeah, both mid lanes clear out the mid lane and roam and rotate immediately. And I think Farsa will have the advantage moving through, but they need to keep that pressure and make sure Farsa can get out of that mid lane and rotate.
Yeah, we also see Yureshi already coming here into Yato's going to have that flicker to get away, but great rotations already from the Ohio brothers who come in here to meet them and make sure that it is not a fair fight. And we're already starting to steal jungle from Zane. Best player trying to come in here is going to go ahead and secure that buff away.
Great moves out of Ohio Brothers to set the tempo in this game. Fredrin moves down and overpower.
Have Lolita and Yato coming up from the side, trying to create some pressure. Turtles getting dragged over to the side of Ohio Brothers. Moba Zane coming in as well. It is going to be a 3v3. You see the same song here as Joybot is going to go.
Is that BTK is pushed off the first turtle.
Yeah, just an amazing ability right now as we're starting to kind of wait for that mid game. I mean, right now, the early game definitely in favor of Ohio Brothers. They've got the rotation. They've got the damn. And I mean, like I said, it's as it comes to these turtle fights and as it comes to the presence in the map right now, it's pretty much all Ohio Brothers, and we're waiting for that sync, that damage output to just start shining from the side of BTK.
It wouldn't be a BTK versus Ohio series, the most hype one, if we didn't have a pause. Am I right? So I think this is going to be a little bit of a rotational advantage showing in the gold thus far, right? This early game is completely dominated by how others. Farsa gets out of the lane so quick. Ling can be wherever he wants, whenever he wants. And I think just BTK wasn't ready for that in the beginning. I also think Yureshi on the Fredrin being able to walk down from the XP lane without being punished, that Masha early isn't putting out like what it needs to. We'll see as this presses into the mid game. I think Akai still has neutral objective control, but a good start from the Higher Brothers, almost 1,000 gold up.
Yeah, and that's these little things, these little non-mistakes that you make up there. You're actually not really concerned with actually the verse in the XP lane, but gonna come down, make sure that his lane is cleared so that he can support his team for these meetups, whether it's something as simple as a Litho Wanderer or all the way into a Turtle. Joybot's going ahead, clearing out that bush right there. You see a little bit of damage coming on to Zane as both the Ohio Brothers and BTK kind of vying for a little bit of position here in the mid.
Yeah, now the BTK has their ultimates. Akai is still level behind, but they have the heavy spin. They have the Cho ultimate as well to make picks, and everything's going to start to become online. The problem is Ohio Brothers has a very strong advantage. Ling has a level up on Zane,
Chad,
so that means his retro will always do more damage. He just has even though Kai has neutral objective control, it feels like Ling kind of is the exception to that.
Yeah, but what I haven't seen just yet is I've been seeing a lot of people caught out of position for the side of BTK. Once we get to these team fights, is it going to be a different story? When we have Yato stealing the ultimates, that might actually change the formation or the platform of these matchups. We're going to see how well that comes under. Yato in a little bit of trouble, does get caught with a stun, and down comes a damn Yato. Almost able to get out of there, but still taken down by Hoon, and that's just the collective effort of this team right now. They are just in Synergy City right now.
And that's going to press more jungle pressure in, and Zane's going to have at least a little bit of people walking into his jungle, seeing where he's out, getting vision on him. And just as Private says, getting caught out of position, Yato gets caught by Lolita and the Farsa and burns the flicker. So that's almost a minute and a half now with no flicker on Yato, and he takes the death. It feels so bad to flicker and still die.
Yeah, and we are going to Lord T gonna get some vision here as we have the turtle on the side of the Ohio Brothers, and we have zoned out basically the rest of BTK. Joybot's gonna try to come in, catches a stun for his efforts. Here comes the boom. No, here comes the Hoon laying down that damage with that feathered airstrike to make sure that BTK stays away from the turtle, and another secured objective for the side of the Ohio Brothers.
Great zoning ultimates from Hoon here. Not only does he get the zone of that artillery, but he's putting damage into the correct members of every time it's either Joyboy or Yato and pushing them out of the fight. And if they do come to contest, they're a level behind in retreat, and one of their guys is like half health. It's just a great usage from Hoon to set up these team fights using the ultimate early.
Yeah, you do see that BTK trying to lock on the Shark, who safely flickers out of the way. That's 4 members right now trying to rotate out and still not able to find the setups that they need. Right now, Joybot is trying to come down to the bottom lane. Shark doing a great job of collecting this vision here right now, but we do see in the background Hoon coming in with that Farja, trying to make sure that they have some position. It is a 4v3, 4v4 right now. I'm not sure if this is the fight that they want. Joybot is going to have to go ahead and dance his way out. Hoon coming in with that wings by wings. Not able to catch Yato. So a great job by both teams. Nobody got caught yet, but definitely not an advantage for BTK yet.
Yeah, Hoon has 2 kills. He's got the Clock of Destiny completed. He's on to his second item. Boots already completed. Huge damage on Unicutie.
Yeah, Unicutie actually is going to have to reverse and hit those brakes and head back to base there. All that damage coming down, and no towers taken yet, but this is the force that you're getting from the Farsa and the rotations right now. And this is what I was talking about before when it came in those qualifier matches. You saw Hoon on this Farsa. They were just a menace, able to rotate so quickly.
Big plays coming out of Hoon. He's really the leader of this team right now, and honestly making the calls from the mid lane, rotating out. 2-0 on a Farsa is just what he wanted to be. This is what the Ohio Brothers drafted for. This early game rotational advantage, and they're pressing it to BTK. BTK has to hang on. They have to find picks with Joybo, who hasn't really been active in the game yet. 0-0-0. Hasn't found a pick on that Cho to make that Yaoi level play.
Yeah, and right now they're kind of on their back legs here. 2 towers already pushed in, none for the side of BTK. Still kind of waiting for that power spike, but I mean, still getting manhandled. Joybaj does come in, catches a stun for his effort. Shark doing a great job of making sure he is there to peel for Hoon every single time he lays down that damage. Rest of BTK here, Mobazane and Joybaj going to go ahead and find an escape here, but still no pressure on the map right now for the side of BTK.
4,000 gold league at the 7.5 minute mark. Huge lead for Ohio Brothers in this first game, and I think a lot of it has to do with Hoon, but maybe a flicker in. They're zoning out this turret, trying to get even more.
Oh, we do see that heavy spin comes out, but a beautiful catch him, and we're gonna see if we have Hoon might be taken out there very quickly. Here comes the Tempest of Blades down, landing onto Joybot's gonna take him out there. It's a 1-for-1 trade, but this is the first signs of life that we have seen from BTK, letting the Ohio Brothers know that they are not down and out of this match yet.
Big plays coming out of BTK. Finally, Joybotch finds the Farce in the back, kicks through, and then the stolen Lolita ultimate from Yato comes down to pin the kill. They do trade one back, but you're right, it's a sign of life out of BTK. They also, Masha split push the top turret down and gets a little bit of gold for the team.
Yeah, so they're still in it, still trying to kind of macro up here to try to even out that gold. I wouldn't say that they have the advantage yet. They still are behind and still have to watch out for some of those plays, especially coming from Hoon. But a great job from Joybaj to get in there, isolate out Hoon, and then be able to have his team take the advantage there. Unfortunately, looks like we are going to be going to yet another pause here. Definitely want to make sure that these games are even for both teams, and that both teams are kind of playing on that parallel battlefield there without too much lag. So we're going to go ahead and make sure that everything is on the up and up in the back there.
Yeah, it's always important to, at this level of play, to keep that integrity in the games and make sure everybody has a fair game. It removes all the other things that can happen, and I really like that part. Let's go for this T pick. Right now, Masha, I haven't seen much of an impact, a little bit of a split push on one turret, but what are you going to see from this Masha? Is it that split push threat in the late game? Is there team fight pressure? I haven't seen much of it. What happens?
Well, and that's the interesting part there. You have a Masha, but you also have a Ling. So if we're talking late game where you have the split pushing possibilities, I'm not sure how much more Masha can do, but we're going to go ahead and jump right back into it. We do that Numenor Blast coming down onto Yato, toughens the blades on to the damage now. Mobazane actually able to get out of that as well. Joybaj comes in. A beautiful way up the dragon. Does land on the best player, but does not take him out. Joybaj is going to find a quick escape there. No worse for wear. Just Yato getting taken out there, but you see already, the Ohio brothers right back onto it, going to go ahead and take another tower with that advantage.
Yeah, I don't know if Yato didn't get the call for pause to be done, but he was not ready for that engage. The Ohio brothers lay down in the mid lane, and then they instantly rotate over to the side lane and pick another turret. It's a great example of not only playing for kills, but making sure your kills are objective focused. Get a kill, push an advantage, get an objective. And I think the Ohio brothers right now are a class act in that.
Why did he Kai?
Yeah, I wouldn't expect any different from the very pinnacle of North America here. Three members rotating for BTK. Joybaj in a little bit of trouble. Is going to have to go out of the way. Shark with the Numenor Blast does catch Joybaj, and it doesn't look like BTK is going to be able to counter this right now, as the Lord's going to be going over to the Ohio brothers. Mobazane actually in trouble here in this tight little corridor. Might not make it out. In comes a heavy spin, able to go ahead and loosen it out. Tempest of Blades comes down, but is not able to find a target.
Great disengage and not getting punished even further, but right now I don't see that BTK really has an answer for this Lolita Farsa setup. This Lolita sets up on top of the Farsa and dares anyone to come interrupt her and just starts that ultimate. Maybe I flicker, maybe I don't, but at least I'm covering Farsa, and I think it gives such a zone control around Hoon, really allowing him to control and dictate these fights before they even start sometimes.
Yeah, and that's the perfect explanation there, is that when you have that feather airstrike coming down, in comes Shark, you see putting down the damage and the protection for Hoon there, and BTK just does not have an answer for it. And you're exactly right. What do you do when you have the Farja laying down all that damage, and then Shark just sitting in the back with that Numenor Blast is already going to go ahead and slow you down. Joybaj trying to come in here. We do have a lot of damage to trying to defend this tower. BTK, they still are left to inhibitors, more minions pushing towards mid. Numenor comes in, but Zane comes in with the quick thinking. Is he caught though? Half health right now. You do see a retribution coming out there. Joybaj does jump out there, jumping back in with the little dance. Another feathered airstrike coming down for Hoon. Numenor Blast from Yato does not catch Hoon. No targets there yet. Nobody down. Everybody is able to get away, but a lot of damage and a lot of pressure put onto BTK.
Ohio brothers with that push threatened an inhibitor, and it's only a hair of HP left, but they don't get it. BTK does defend their inhibitors at least. These Ohio brothers are 8k gold ahead, 11 minutes. This is an enormous gold lead, and that affects itself in itemization. That means more items, more damage, more items, more tankiness. And right now, it's just such a gold advantage coming out from Ohio brothers. BTK are fighting back from 8k behind.
Yeah, and not just that, but even with this type of advantage, I mean, where do you go from here if you are BTK? I know you're going to try to get Joybaj to try to get into that back line to try to isolate somebody, but not at the cost of losing someone. You see, we have a Numenor Blast coming down. Joybaj's going to try to get out of it. A big stun landed on, as well as that big boy damage coming from Hoon, putting on there. Heavy spin comes out from Zane, who might be in trouble. Thomas Blade's coming out. He is not enough to catch a target there. You see Basic with that speedy light wheel just putting on the damage to the minions, as we have some rotating up. We haven't synced up the lanes here just yet, but we are starting that stranglehold by refusing all of this jungle from BTK.
You're right. The jungle's been taken away. Zane's been choked out, and he has to share lanes with XP now. They're not even using a Lord to push in. The next Lord's in 20 minutes, right?
Yeah, and we do see that again, coming in with that bulwark from Shark. Hoon in the back line, putting on the damage with that feathered airstrike, and this is one inhibitor that has gone down. There's only one left for BTK. Joybaj goes down. Here comes a flicker with that Numenor Blast. Does not catch a target just yet, but the story has been written right now.
Literally all of them are because of him.
From BTK.
That looked like a really bad
He's
fight,
kind
but
of
the
insane
silver
on
lining
this
for
show.
BTK is
What
that
the
Joy
heck?
Maj picks the Ling. Best players down for
Yikes.
20 more seconds. Can BTK do anything in this 20-second mark
Wow.
to cement themselves and regain control?
Yeah, well, you see Lord T taking a whole heap of damage from basic here right now. He's going to have to back up to his team there. You're actually doing a great job of zoning out the rest of the players there. Hoon takes a whole lot of damage there, almost half health chunked there from Yuna, and we have started on this Lord. Zane trying to get himself into a great position. A great read by Ohio to zone him out. He can't even get around without, you look at them already pushing him away from this Lord, allowing Basic to go ahead and put on the damage. Hoon is going to have to back up there. Yureshi trying to play the wall here to back up the rest of BTK, but that allows the rest of the Ohio brothers to take down this next Lord.
It's going to be near on impossible to defend from this next Lord push. It will be a Luminous Lord, and this will be pushing in with only one inhibitor left. What can BTK do to set the map and make sure these waves aren't synced up?
Well, and that's the problem here right now. You're at such a loss. You're at such a gold deficit. You're waiting for the side of Ohio brothers to make a mistake. You can see right here, even the lanes kind of synced up, kind of coming down at the same time. Luminous Lord barreling down through the middle lane. You don't really have it on the far end lanes, which is where you would like it to try to take this top tower, which is the only, I want to say, saving grace for BTK right now. So they can focus their efforts here up at the top and mid lane. Lord is coming in here right now. You do see the focus coming in.
Here we go.
Come in, conceal play. That is short work for that. Hoon laying down the arsenal for the rest of the Ohio brothers. And Lord T gets us crunched down as a heavy spin. Might be it. This might be the first game going over the Ohio brothers. Chapter 1 of this mega engagement goes to Hoon and his brand new team, the Ohio brothers, over BTK.
Huge game for Ohio brothers. 10,000 gold ahead, a little bit more. Honestly, making this
I'm not gonna
like
lie,
a close
expected
game,
that game to be
that was a
closer, bro.
stomp out.
What the
Honestly,
fuck?
from the very first rotation,
Jesus
Ohio brothers were in
Christ.
control, and Hoon uses that
I didn't even have
such an
anything to say on
expert
stream, bro. I
ability
didn't know what to
rotating
say.
on these
It was
lanes.
just a stomp.
Honestly, creating a landscape in which BTK can't walk
Like-
in the map anymore.
Joy Boss is playing pretty fucking good, bro. I'm
Especially
not
from
gonna
the
lie.
early game, I want to say just
Definitely
the
an upgrade
entire,
from Theo.
I want almost just the tightness of
Respectfully.
rotations
Respectfully,
and, of this
bro.
composition. Yureshi
Oh my
immediately
God,
from
dude,
the
I didn't wanna
get-go
be the one to
clears
say
lane,
it,
make sure
man.
that he is there to feed into these engagements. And this is usually what BTK has done to other teams
Theo
in the
is
past,
Kate
where
Zaru
they get that
from
advantage
Extraction, if
and
you
they
know
do
who that
not
is.
let go. They keep that stranglehold on you, and like a python, they keep squeezing and squeezing until there's nothing left. And this is exactly what
No
Ohio
way.
brothers did to them.
Yeah, I want to look at the T pick, honestly, because all those bans stacked on the XP lane, I felt like it had a real effect. Masha didn't seem like she had a great effect at all in this game. I was kind of wondering, like, the whole time, where's Masha? Where's Masha? And 0-1-0, not a big effect, but let's look at the star of the show here.
No fucking
Basic
way.
3-0. Hoon himself doing so much work. Only 2-1-6, but man, this dude did mad work in the game.
Yeah,
Bro,
as much as Basic,
Zane was
I
building
mean, the
fucking
kills
DHS.
over to
Am I
him,
missing
I
something?
feel like Hoon, as we were
No,
talking about
peep it,
before,
bro.
the
He's building DHS on a
rotations
guy.
with Shark on that Lolita, I mean, the both of them played their roles perfectly. Every single time
the
Hoon
fuck?
planted his feet into the ground and went for that feathered airstrike, you
Bro,
had
yo,
Shark
one of the
right there
kicks
to
that-
make sure to keep him safe. I think there was once
Fucking,
that Joy Bosch was able to kind of get in there, but
Joy
that
Bosch
wasn't, I
kicked
don't think
Ling
that was
into
when
the
a feathered
tower and
airstrike
Zane
came out.
ulted that
I
nigga
think
back
they
out,
just
bro.
got caught when Joy Bosch
Once
came
I
in
saw
with
that shit, I
that
was so
show.
confused.
But for 90% of this game,
I was like,
Shark
oh,
did
okay.
his job,
Yeah,
made
I
sure
guess.
that his mage was covered, and that none, especially with the team here, you didn't really have somebody that could dive into that deep into that back line from BTK.
BTK has to go back to the shop and figure this out, because this was 1,000 gold league per minute increase for
Oh,
Ohio.
100%.
At every minute of the game, they were
100%.
rolling through them. 9 turrets to 1, 2 lords to 9, 3 turtles to 9. It is a shutout for the side of Ohio brothers. This was honestly a disaster for the first step of
Yeah,
BTK.
if my tank is
Let's see what
fucking
their
bad, I
mental's
don't wanna
like when they
play.
can come
If my
back
tank
and
is
be
bad, I
serious.
don't wanna
Okay, we
play the
went down
game.
1 bad. What are we going to do to change this up? I think it may lie a little bit in getting T a good pick, number 1, but also taking away Shark's Lolita. I feel like they play different when Shark's on Lolita. Take that off the board, make him play something else,
Jesus
change the
Christ.
team dynamic around. They seem way too comfortable on that.
Well, we're gonna take a look here in one of these replays, slowed up for your guys' convenience. You just see here, even when trying
dude,
to
maybe
get
they were. I don't fucking
their
know.
own purple buff, just the pressure all the way from the side. You're actually able to come in
Jesus.
onto
Are you-
Zane there as well, and then Shark setting up this
Are you streaming that?
beautiful. Newman on blast, and then Hoon right there from the back, getting ready to lay down this feathered airstrike as soon as the entire team is stuck. And then that's pretty much a wrap. You have like so much way for BTK to go to even try to get out of this feathered airstrike. And this was the story for the entire match, is that once these guys were just setting up basically the same few things, that there wasn't an answer
no fucking
for.
way they joined that NACT.
Coming down, nobody can close the distance onto Hoon.
Yo, they should have told me. That shit would have been funny as fuck to watch.
They had no answer from it. It seemed like a steamroll. I want BTK to come back strong in this game.
Dude, that's funny. Dude, I gotta hand it to them though.
Well, I mean, if anybody can, it's gonna be BTK.
Yeah, dude, I can't hate on that.
Game too. I know that the pressure is on for them right now.
Oh God.
Ohio brothers, I mean, this is their game to lose. They don't need
unironically
to win
want to
this
get
game.
better
It's
at
on
the game,
BTK,
bro.
or we're going to be closing out this series a little early.
No, this is another
an
NXT
amazing
game.
first game by them. We're going to see if there is an answer for that as we move into the second.
I think Ohio brothers want to win the next game. Not only do they, I think a 2-0 sends a message to not only the rest of the tournament, but the community as a whole. We're the new top dogs, right? And man, with this first game, it feels like the Zane dream has been shattered a little bit. Oh no, you know? And we'll see how the rest of the series goes. It's only one game. It's the first series of a very long tournament. But wow, the Ohio brothers come out with a very strong performance. I kind of fangirled on the Lolita and the Farsa together. Wow, that was strong.
Yeah,
facts, that's what I was talking about here, is that the chapters. This is a new year, new season here in North America, and some of the old names notwithstanding, we might be looking at a new top of the mountain here in North America. And a great synergy. This synergy from the team, the amount of times that these guys were able to kind of find these lane pick-offs was innumerable. And just the support there. If you're going to try to take
nobody
that
did that
from
to him
Shark,
but
you're
himself.
letting something else go out there. And is that pick enough for you to worry about? We're going to find out here when it comes to the second game and what BTK might be able to do here, because right now I want to say, like, there's a shift in North America right now, and with that last game, it would be hard. I'd be hard pressed for people who are rooting for BTK right now, because that was a very dominating game for them and a very tough loss to BTK.
It is, I think, sometimes a tough loss to take for sure, but at the top level, I feel like games can get snowbally sometimes. Once you give a top-level team that advantage, that amount of gold lead, those picks, they kind of steamroll the game. They're not going to make mistakes, and that's what really allows the team back in. So I think, you know, while it looked terrible, I still think these are the top two teams, and they're going to duke it out and give us a great series. Maybe BTK this time takes the snowball and runs over the end, doesn't make a mistake, and can't get them. But what a clean finish from the Ohio brothers. I have to give it to him again. Good start, good middle, good end. So clean throughout the entire thing.
Yeah, I do. I have to admit that that's a great point there, is that when you get to the tippy top, it usually does come down to who made the first mistake, who got the advantage first, and then it's just a stranglehold all the way down, regardless of the strength of
but he hated Aloe with
and start these bands off again, basically
Aloe
around the same
I don't
types
fucking
of
know.
bands
I don't know, and Aloe
the
hates them right
Fanning
back,
and
bro.
the
Aloe would just
Joy
be a
getting
DC by
taken out
himself,
here
and then Vic would
early.
join.
But like you
and
said,
they
are we
would
going to
start
have an
cussing each other
answer?
out, bro.
Probably the
And I was like,
Farja or the
yeah,
Lolita,
bro.
or are we going to go ahead and maybe do we have a different plan in
So
mind
they
for
just
them?
hated
As
each
you said,
other.
Masha,
Yeah,
not exactly.
Best of three,
Not
and
exactly
then
having the
finals of
greatest
best of
effect on the field, really doing much there, and it did allow
no, it's
to
round
rotate
robin.
early to get that early advantage over them.
So every
It
team
jumped out
plays
hard, Lena,
everything.
You're right. That first
Every
rotation
team
kind
plays
of
everything.
set the tone for the rest of the game. And once Frederick came down to that mid lane, everything was like they were kind of playing from behind right then. And then Ohio brothers did a great job of incrementally
I need a
increasing their
more
goal, not
interesting
making
game per
mistakes.
stream.
I would have rather seen the Dairoth come out than the Masha. I know T plays a good Dairoth, and it would have worked well into the Fredrin. The Masha pick was just kind of confusing. It seemed panicked. It seemed like he was really put off by being target banned. Maybe Ohio brothers has found the secret for BTK. Ban out T.
Well, and then and that's an amazing point there too, because the second round basically went to banning out T as well to make sure to see what he actually had left in store. I'm not sure how much I agree with a Dairoth, just because
what team?
I am more in favor of like his team fighting ability just isn't there, unless he's like absolutely fed, and you exchange winning lane for losing team fights in some instances when you have the Dairoth, and you're just gonna have to completely focus on that lane. I think they had a great plan in the early game, the rotations that they wanted, what they wanted to do to enforce their will, and I feel like unfortunately
Demon wanted to
BTK
keep
was kind of
maging,
leaning
so
towards
I I didn't
near late
play
game,
Mage.
but didn't really have a kind of cover there, especially for an Akai, who doesn't really have the damage in the early game that a Fredrin does, and especially not because he was getting refused his fourth level for about what 60 seconds, 90 seconds there, past when he should have had it.
So I
Yeah,
understand
Zane
why
being
you
put
want
behind
to
the
keep
jungle.
playing
We were
Mage.
talking about earlier, just people punishing the Zane's focus on farming, and I think it really was on display right there. Another thing that happens is the BTK usually drafts for no damage.
I don't know,
and
but
they
he
put damage
insists
on the march
on playing
just
Mage.
a total lack of damage.
And
if you're making
Alex
picks
is a really
to
good
set the
jungle
march.
as well.
I felt like Beatrix never really got in that game, and like where was the Beatrix damage? It never really happened. So maybe BTK
Yeah,
takes a little bit more
jungle
I
is
like the
a
adaptation
fucking
that
slabber
they
man
banned
right now.
Valentina here, and they're
really
forcing
good
the
record.
trade of who gets first.
I think it's
and
changing
that's a
right now,
really big
actually.
pick.
I'm gonna be real.
And
I
then
see a
the
lot more.
next whoever doesn't get first has to go off the
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I haven't been playing the entire 2 years.
Well, not just Farza,
so
but
I
I
don't
feel
know what
like
it was
Faramis
before I
is
came
being
back.
left open here too,
But
because as
from
you've taken
when I
out
started
the
playing again,
Valentina, you've basically taken out the only other counter for Faramis. And as we've seen in the last, and with the meta right now at the top, it does sometimes come down to who can get those the Estus, the Faramis, the Diggy out there. Right now, it could be anybody's game. We're still waiting to see that first pick here, see if we're gonna have some changes here. I don't know, like, if you're BTK right now. Like, are you looking to change? Well, you're obviously looking to change something. Anything right now.
Who the fuck is
But
that?
you do go ahead and give Moba Zane that comfort pick. You're giving him that Fredrin.
And just as you were talking about,
yeah, didn't they have Cho, like Chu or whatever his name is, the girl?
Really quickly, Zane takes away Fredrin, and I think they grab.
No, that was him. No fucking way, dude. I see him in rank every now and then. I think he plays Franco.
So strong and has been
right?
out in most games.
Yeah, that is good.
Giving this the rest of the team to call to that.
Why are you losing a Brazilian sauce? What the fuck?
What
happened?
Gets a lot, very comfortable.
Oh no.
And Yato picks up.
Yo, put me in. What the fuck?
Definitely a whole different game, because now you're not going to have those fast rotations from the mid. But what you
gave
have is
and
a
Faramis
good
to Ohio,
chunk of team fighting ability on the side of Ohio brothers, who can basically, you're going to have to kill them twice as you run through that cult altar. A little bit of changes on the cult altar where everybody has to stay together.
What are we drafting?
I'm not sure how that's going to come into play here, because you have on the side of BTK a lot of AoE damage. So even if that cult altar does activate, it's not going to take much from their side to be able to kill them again.
Yeah, but
whether it's with the feather airstrike, with Lapu getting into that bravest fighter form, or the appraiser's wrath coming from Fredrin. That's just a lot of damage that can cover a lot of people stacked up.
1-1 is really good, and 1-1 counter.
This gives them a chance to really warm Farsa ulti.
Exactly. And then those two on their own are also insane.
This time is drafted for a mid-game.
They have fucking peak draft right now. They have M5 draft.
Who's really gonna just walk around with swagger in
They're going to M5 with that draft.
in the early game. No one can really kill it. I think late game 1-1 has the opportunity to win.
Oh yeah.
So I think it's a good late game win condition for the Ohio brothers. But what
I mean, I love Blythe, but I don't think he's gonna carry that hard, bro.
Something to get in there in the lane and win lane. I'm wondering how deep Unicute's pool is here.
Well, without haste, we do see Shark going ahead and snatching up that Lolita very quickly. I'm expecting possibly to see, are we going to take out Claude here? I know Claude is a favor for a lot of people going against the Faramis, because that's another one of those heroes that can spread the damage to everybody with that blazing, or with that, with his ultimate. So, I mean, he can spread that across there. We do see Melissa getting taken out, as well as
that's what I hate, right?
So for the side of the Ohio brothers being finished up and
Waldo community soft as fuck, but then the ML community just spams the hard R all day. So.
You know, Lapu wins the lane against Yuzong, but Yuzong,
it's like, what do I want?
He doesn't care for the lane phase, he wants the team fight. And those Black Dragons in the back line can hurt Farsa's ability so much, so a great ban out of them to take the YZ off the table. You know that your rest would play it if he had it. I think the Melissa ban is good for Wanwan, giving a little bit of the early game.
I don't even say it that often, bro. But like, I'll join a different ML server, bro, like that Night Horde server, and it's just fucking pages on pages on pages, bro.
And it was
I'm
kind
like,
of
oh,
for a lot of time.
Yeah, we do see Hilda being picked up by Yoreshi here. Interesting
Is
thing
he
too
high?
how are we going
Did
to
we
be able
not
to
just watch the
compete
last
into
game?
the back line of BTK?
Yeah, okay.
What's going to be diving back there to kind of try to
Fredrin's
take out this
1v9 on
Farja?
Fredrin?
I mean,
Okay.
you have Shark, who I feel
guess.
like Shark has a great ability of being able
Fredrin
to
is just
press
a free
forward on
1-1
that
ulti.
Lolita with those Numenon blasts and then a flicker. Should probably be able to land those stuns onto the Farja there. Yoreshi picking up the Hilda here. And I'm wondering how that matchup's going to go for
like Aloe,
T here on the Lapu.
Now Hilda will win the lane really hard, so Lapu's gonna look to get out of the lane just like a YZ would into the Lapu. Now Lapu's gonna be the one running out and trying to get to these team fights because Hilda can just stand in that bush. And the lane's so boring, but man, Hilda smashes it really hard. So I'm looking for T to get out, and honestly, there's the Brody. Yes, I wanted to see the Brody played into the 1-1, punish this lane phase, and get into the 1v1 sometimes in basic when they're left alone on that island, pushing back and forth. I thought when this Hilda was originally picked that it would be into a support, but it didn't really make sense into the Fredrin jungle.
Yeah, interesting note here. Theo back on the board here with the Kufra
and I went against like
picked
something
up
named
here.
Shiesty on
Side note there too,
the
Tyrant's
jungle, and I was like,
Revenge
bro,
from
this guy builds,
Kufra
like,
will be able to hopefully kind of either be used as its own setups, but even also to kind of counter that Numenon blast coming from Shark if you can get it out there in time. But we see on the side of the Ohio brothers picking up the assassin jungler Hayabusa. We were talking about who can get into the back line to try to catch the Farja, and best player picking up the Hayabusa. The name of his game is basically diving into those back lines.
Yeah, and Haya's like
North America's not like that. Whenever I'm like in VC listening to scrims,
kind of get relegated to be a split pusher. Into the fighter of Fredrin, we've seen that Haya's have trouble sometimes, but if they can get ahead,
whenever I'm in
they have
VC
so much
listening to
dominance in the
scrims,
game and
niggas
mobility
are
to
just
go around
like,
the map and do what they want.
oh, but they don't play this in Asia.
I think I would
They
give
don't play
late
this in
game
Asia. They don't
to
play
the
this in
side
PH.
of Ohio brothers, and I think in
but
the
are you ever
mid game,
gonna
BTK has an
kind of
advantage.
deviate?
Early game, I think a little bit of advantage out of Farsa, but man, if that one gets going in the late game, it's going to be trouble.
That's interesting because I actually have the opposite feeling there, is because I feel like the early game is Ohio's to lose. They need that early game to go well. Hilda from behind has problems because she can't really do, if you're not afraid of Hilda, you're not going to be checking these bushes for her, and she's just going to be a point, a lightning rod for all of the damage as she comes running in. So at the early game, if Ohio can kind of get the advantage, I feel like this is going to go over to, it's gonna stay with them. If BTK can somehow kind of run around here and kind of take that away from Ohio, then I feel like it's going to be BTK's game. But it's all going to be coming down here to the beginning, to the early parts of this match. It's going to be match 2 here. BTK looking to prove they still have what it takes to sit atop the mountain of North America.
That's right, and they've gotten a lot of the picks that they wanted in this matchup, but it's Ohio brothers are no slouch from this. Theo maybe getting a little bit of damage in this river.
Yeah, it takes a bit of damage. It's expending that flicker already. Only the 57 seconds right now. They do not get this Litho Wanderer. Mobazane doing his best to take down the purple buff. A little bit of a rotation going up to the top lane now.
And that's mid lane a priority out of him. Ohio brothers push out the mid lane and they get their first rotation. They get Litho for free. Zane didn't even walk towards it. He's still on blue buff. He didn't have the same help, and I think that BTK needs to focus on getting that Farsa out of lane as soon as she has the skills and the ability to rotate with the damage. Get her out of lane. Take her to the next level.
Yeah, you see Shark trying to put some pressure onto Zane, and this has been a big thing for Zane. Actually in a little bit of trouble. Down comes the Apprentice Wrath. Down goes a Shark, but Mobazane gets picked up by the jungler, and I feel like for that 1-for-1 trade, it does favor Ohio brothers just a little bit more.
Right, it does.
Yeah, but that
You're
takes
right.
a lot
Support
longer
for jungler. Jungler's off the map. He can't farm, and he's not getting gold per minute. But still, 3v1 from Zane?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. How does he do it?
Yeah, and still able to bring down that Appraiser's Wrath. That's just the great value you get out of Fredrin for all the damage that he can take. First turtle is up, and we are starting to vie for position. You see that Zane is going to come in there. Yoreshi comes in there, Hoon, with a little bit of damage as well. Yato, might be. No, he gets out. He's going to tell that story to his kids there. Shark coming in with a Numenon blast. Now, beautiful Tyrant's Revenge comes up there. Is this going to be enough? Back to safety. Pulled back is Theo, but stunned right now is T, who uses that flicker to try to get away. He is not long for this world, and the feathered airstrike not able to do much, but zones out the rest of Ohio brothers. 1 for 2 right now in favor of Ohio brothers.
BTK takes another turtle when Yato's pushed out. They know they're outnumbered, and they still take the fight anyway. Yato comes back a little late, throws the ulti out, but the damage is already done. The turtle's been taken, and they're rotating out. And then T, alone, and he finds himself alone with 4 members of the Higher Brothers. He knows he's dead. Tries to flicker out, but burns the flicker and still dies.
Yeah, you see a nice stun onto Hoon. Does pull back Yato on that far. Down at the bottom here, Theo trying to come in. That bouncing ball trying to cover for his marksman as we are still trying to vie for a position down here. Shark doing a great job of making sure that Theo in a little bit of trouble can't capitalize on this. Here comes the Newman on blast, followed by Hoon trying to come in with that Shadow Stampede. He does not catch a target here, and it looks like BTK is here to kind of save the day and force the retreat from the Ohio Brothers.
An early kind of like stop to the pressure, and BTK follows the roam down and answers, right? But best player is off to a really good start, 1-0 on this assassin.
Yeah, 2v3 here right now. Yato gets taken down quite quickly. That shadow kill comes out, and Mobazane powerless to protect his teammate. It is 1 for 3 right now in favor of Ohio as they set their sights at the bottom lane.
Pharsa should be having a rotational advantage, but finds herself being pinned in the mid by this immense pressure coming out of Hydra Brothers, always pushing in mid, always getting for rotation on a Pharsa. Pharsa should be the first one there, and best player locks in the Hunter strike before the 4-minute mark. This assassin's off to a run.
Yeah, and we've been talking about it before. A lot of people have been saying that there might be a little problem with the assassins. Theo in trouble. Newman on blast coming down. Do we have the flicker? We do. Catches Theo, but we are not able to clean it up. Is the Ohio Brothers. Yoreshi going to be finding himself back up to the top lane. Turtle is up right now. Mobazane desperately needs to kind of get the momentum in his favor. 3v2 right now. Lord T comes in with that Bravest Fighter. Here comes the feathered airstrike down as well. A little bit of trouble. Shark gets taken down too. Cold Alter.
Why are they
He's
even
just a hair
fighting
too late.
for Turtle?
And Hoon trying to make his way to safety is going to use that Shadow Stampede to get away.
What a play. They 2v4 into the Lord Pit and still take away the turtle. Best player gets a pick on the other side of the map. May get chased down here, but it looks like great pressure coming out from BTK, answering this back. Honestly, I'm still amazed that Fredrin and Lapo just 2v4'd on the Lord, the turtle, take it, and then take a couple of kills. Big plays from BTK.
Yeah, you do see Mobazane starting to go ahead and press his advantage into the Ohio Brothers jungle. Yoreshi powerless to stop him. Down comes the Appraiser's Wrath. Not much damage really coming out of there as Lord T goes ahead, throws a little pokes there to the Yoreshi as well. We're going to go ahead, zone out Yoreshi here while Mobazane takes on to this top tower. Great job by BTK and a little bit more formulated here than we saw from last game.
Absolutely more formulated. BTK seems to be a lot more comfortable. They have a lot more damage in their lineup as well. With the Lapo and the Fredrin, completely changes the mid-game skirmish, and they bring so much damage to these fights, and they're starting to outplay them.
Yeah, Unity Trouble does use that Torn Apart Memories, but it's not going to be enough as basically able to get the kill on there. Newman Blast coming downfield, might not be long for this world. Down comes the shadow kill from best player. That is 3-6 right now, just narrowly over, not even a 1K gold lead right there. Zane comes in. Best player taking down some damage from Yato. Mobazane desperately trying to cling on to this orange buff right now. Doesn't want it to get taken away, so they're still vying for a position. Basically picks up a tower off screen as we are focused on the mid lane.
Actually is kind of 1v9.
Shark actually in a little bit of trouble. Appraiser's Wrath comes down, but it's not going to be enough. Does use that conceal, and Zane in a little bit of trouble. Might see a crossbow tank come out. There it is, but Zane is super tanky. That's not going to do much more than tickle him, but in comes Hoon with best player. They don't find the target just yet with that shadow, so they are going to go ahead and disengage.
What a pound for pound look. We have 9 kills in 6 minutes. We're starting up the third turtle here. It's going to be a big fight to secure pressure.
Yeah, it's only a 3v4 right now. We're still waiting for the rest of BTK to kind of get into position here right now. We are dancing around it. This is kind of what we do when we're trying to look for a fight. I feel like the Ohio Brothers feel like they have the fight in their hands. They want the fight here. They want BTK to kind of come in for this. At the top, you see that Wan going to go ahead and start the split push. Do we have enough pressure here to start onto this turtle? Looks like TOB is kind of standing back. Mobazane is a clean pickup for that turtle as a zone out from Theo backs up the rest of the Ohio Brothers.
Very conscious decision and call throughout the comms of the Higher Brothers. Send 1-1 to the top and give up this turtle. For what reason, we don't know, but they really gave that turtle away. They had the 5v5 fight and they wanted it. They neglect to go split push the lane, get 1-1 a little bit more gold. Basic is 2-0 on 1-1. That's going to be so much damage in late game.
Theo goes in there.
I mean, you're right, but he's one of the only ones that
comes out. Mobazane is zoned out a little bit as well. No worse for wear is BTK. Great thinking by them.
Dude, it's
they
so
do
funny.
let down a Newman Blast, so they're not going to have that for at least the next 46 seconds.
I was going through my gallery the other day,
Ohio Brothers
bro,
have
and I saw a picture I took.
really
Him
a
and
lot of pressure on
Chuka,
this mid lane inner
both in the
turn
same
is
DC
down,
called
and they have
bedroom,
access
bro.
to the jungle
Instantly
mobile
changed
Zane,
that shit
and that
to my
really
fucking
frustrates Zane.
background.
He wants to farm, he wants to keep rotating and make smart paths, but now Ohio Brothers are in his jungle for the rest of the game.
Crazy.
Yeah, Dio does miss a tire.
Nah, that East egg hit, huh? That East egg has to hit.
Trying to put the damage onto this tower. They want to get this down, want to put that pressure down. Theo in a little bit of trouble there. Here comes the crossbow of Tang. Is he going to be able to take him down? It is a not. Down.
Oh, yo. Every time I say that to him, bro, he gets pressed.
Shark comes in with a bit of a stun of his own there, but we are at
Hey,
a
bro,
one
you
for
tell him,
one
not
trade.
me.
Basic down.
Re-engage?
Numenov blast of their own with a flicker. Catches BTK. Zoe is taken down. Shark actually might not be long for this world. Has that bulwark up. Is he going to be able to get away? Hoon doing a great job of pulling Mobas in, and he is in the wrong way in between four members.
Yo, it
of the
actually
Ohio
is
Brothers,
1v9,
desperately
bro.
trying to
It actually
get back
is
to the
1v9.
turtle. Yuna comes in for the damage. Appraiser's Wrath takes down a Shark, and a great
be
thing
real,
Mobas
bro, be
is
real.
still alive.
Mobazane
This
refusing
nigga's
to
trying
lose here in the
so
four
hard.
people, turns around with the Appraiser's Wrath, takes the kill and gets away.
Superman, bro.
Big swing in the
Superman.
counter engage of Ohio Brothers. These two teams are duking it out, and honestly, it couldn't be more of an entertaining match.
Yeah, and right now it is it's a Ohio Brothers game to lose right now. They are in the advantage.
It's
They are
all
winning
hit
these
you
team
for
fights, and they're winning
3K.
the split pushing ability right now. We're still waiting to get this feather airstrike to a point where the enemy is afraid, or where the Ohio Brothers want to back up. But right now they are delegating what fights they want to take, what objectives they want.
Wait, that's kind of huge. That's huge. Oh my God! Kill him!
Revving up.
Oh,
a member there. Down comes
wait,
the airstrike.
what?
Yuna blast with a cold
How is that not a
Yuna
good
trying to come in
fight?
here, trying to put on the damage, but he is blocked
Really?
by that bulwark. Not sure if he's going to be able to get out of this. Yureshi comes in there. Down goes Mobazane. That is 3 members of BTK taken down. 5 still up for the Ohio Brothers.
and T finds himself once again in the middle of a whole lot of Ohio Brothers waiting for another kill. What a clean Colt Altar coming out from the Faramis to save their best player, secure the Lord, secure the team fight. What a swing. This is a huge moment for Ohio Brothers. Only 4K gold up, but look at the map state. They have a Lord barreling down. They're going to clean the house.
Yeah, by Faramis
this play.
Yeah, not just that, but during that play, a
Well,
great shot by Shark to
that
read
champion shouldn't even be open.
where
but
Yuna was
holy
and
fuck,
threw
man.
up that shield, that bulwark, to block all
100%.
the damage from Yuna. So during that team fight, he
wasn't
was
there?
not a factor. Lord coming down from the bottom. 4 members hiding out here. Zane actually might be in trouble. 4 members trying to come at him. He's able to dash away. They aren't able to find the damage, but they are able to find the tower. Zane does get away from that Numenon blast. The Ohio Brothers going to go ahead and distance themselves from here as they move on to another tower. But the top you can't
Dude,
see.
this
Lord at
game
the
is hard,
bottom,
man.
pushing the
This game is so
top.
hard.
They are doing a great job, our Ohio Brothers, of putting the pressure on to BTK.
Yeah,
Zane might be getting a little frustrated, is trying to come in, try to put the damage onto Yureshi. He has clung, but we have 5 members onto Zane. He's looking to try to get out of here. Use that Appraiser's Wrath, doesn't connect. Zane in a little bit of trouble, gets taken down. Lord T is the next one. Yato might be in trouble. Basic just coming in. We were talking about the marksman, but Basic doing a great job. 2 down for the side of BTK, 1 down for the Ohio Brothers, and Ohio Brothers think twice about continuing on this push. Just inhibitors left for the side of BTK.
Relentless aggression here coming out of Ohio Brothers. Look at the itemization on their side as they have 6K gold advantage. Look at the build onto the Hayabusa. He has BOD, Malefic War, Hunter Strike. He's doing so much damage. And even though this team's grouped up, it feels like best players still doing so much damage on the Hayabusa. 3-1 and 10. Basic gets taken out in that team fight, but he really has so much damage in these team fights, cleaning out even a Frederick, even a Kufra. I think Theo has to find his legs in this game and make a good set for any hope for BTK.
Yeah, and right now the pressure is on BTK, only with inhibitors left. The entire jungle basically open, and we were talking about this before. Once that squeeze starts, Ohio Brothers are not likely the team to kind of make that mistake.
A lot of the
Blast
players
coming
on
out
the team,
does
bro.
not use
Be
the
real.
flicker. Best player comes in with a little bit of shadow,
God,
not
damn.
able to find or secure any kind of target that he wanted, so he backs off. And right now we're just into the lanes. That's all we have right now is to kind of get these lane goals. Ohio doing a great job of refusing that jungle, the jungle goal.
I struggle to see BTK coming back in this game because of what you said earlier. Ohio's not the team to make mistakes. BTK needs to force errors here, and I'm looking at Theo. I want Theo to come in with a big engage, Mobazane taunt, and really lay down and pick somebody before this next team fight starts. The Ohio Bros have the lane pressure. They're going to be splitting in. They're going to pick their fight when they want it. It's up to BTK to walk into this river, which is completely owned by Ohio right now.
Yeah, we do have a concealed play coming out. They want this fight. They do see that Tyrant's Wrath coming out from Theo. He's not long for this world. Does catch a beautiful stun, but he's going to catch a crossbow of Tang, which opens it up for the rest of the team. 2 down for BTK right now. Yato joins the pack in the afterlife right now. We are going to go ahead and start zoning out as the rest of the team from the Ohio Brothers is going to go ahead and get onto this Lord. Mobazane in a desperate attempt. Lord T into the backline, but here comes a cold ultra.
I'm never trading Fredrin for fucking
Zane is in trouble, gets taken out as well. That is 2 people left for the side of BTK as this Lord gets taken up quite quickly by the Ohio Brothers. 4 members now pressing into the core. This might be it. Lord T desperately trying to come into the backline, does not find the damage. We are down to almost about a 10th down from this core, basically taking down Lord T. Theo alone in the front line trying to cover for Yato. They do back up, but they have a Luminous Lord coming. That means it's out the top lane. They're going to have an immense amount of pressure coming down to this next inhibitor at the bottom as well. We continue on pressing our advantage. You see coming in here to zone out the team of Yato and Theo. Are they going to be able to stop this? Here comes the Luminous Lord. We are trying to zone it out. Numenal Blast comes down. Yato gets out of there with the cold altar. Down to about half health. Is it?
Oh my god, bro. Leaf Ramus open, take Fredrin.
As BTK gets taken out by the Ohio Brothers.
Big game, big statement coming out of Ohio Brothers to come into this game and not only win the game, but 2-0 in a very decided fashion. These weren't close games. These were blowouts. Now, this game was closer than the first one. But
oh yeah, them Peach niggas hate Zane, bro.
To do BTK
they can't win.
They completely ran over the map.
Zane cried.
Yeah, the tone has been set. The gauntlet has been laid, and the line has been drawn in the sand. At the top of the mountain right now are the Ohio Brothers. Just an immense amount of teamwork, synergy, and in their drafting, being able to kind of push off a BTK in fantastic fashion. We talk sometimes about close games and what happens when somebody gets the advantage with these top teams, but from sitting from the seats and viewing there, Ohio Brothers did such a great job of isolating Zane, making sure that the pressure was constantly on him.
Yeah, I have to give it a lot. Punishing Zane's focus on farming and getting in the lanes and always being on script. He likes to have really clean rotations for maximum gold, and Ohio Brothers just don't allow it to happen. Honestly, I thought there would be a little bit different story with BTA having the Farson being able to roam around, but Ohio Brothers put so much pressure on the mid and lock them in, and then walk into Zane's jungle like it's theirs. What a great game plan coming out from Ohio Brothers, and like you said, setting the tone for the whole series.
Yo, it's kind of
a lot
cringe
of people
though.
voted BTK to
These
win
guys
this.
are all random, but they talk so much.
Yeah, myself included there, and that just like I said, sets the tone. Sets the tone for the rest of these matches here. This is going to be the
niggas cannot lose one
only time
game,
that these two meet, but basically has changed the landscape for North America right now. Ohio Brothers are going to be that team to beat. That nigga was tripping, but like, need to worry about. They have shown the camaraderie and the synergy that they have. And it's not just a team thrown together. These guys have been playing together for a while.
Yeah, and I wanted to see maybe Shark on something else, right? But BTK gives him a low lead twice. That's like one of his most playmaking heroes. He'd be different on it, but probably we got a replay.
Yeah, and this is kind of the problem here, trying to toward the end there. You see Theo. This was a beautiful play. Theo comes in there. Now watch Shark when Yuna tries to come in here from the side. Shark, as soon as he does get popped up, he's going to come in here and block Yuna from putting on the damage to the rest of the team. And this is just the know-how from Shark to be able to block the main damage after Yato.
Why would they ever leave it open? Aren't they the ones that banned Valentina?
Set the tone, and that is why Shark is so dangerous, especially when the rest of your team just has such a great advantage.
That's cringe.
Yeah, he looks so
They gave away
on
fucking 1-1 and 1-1 counter.
Honestly, just an expert master of the hero, laying down the Numinous Blast for the team fight and then blocking all the marksman's damage. What a well-played tank. And we know Shark to be that #1 tank, right? He's so good at his classic picks.
They're okay.
I want to see him on something else.
I might hop off.
What an impressive game coming from Ohio Brothers. It seems like the Ohio Brothers today do not have the Ohio connection, or is the Ohio connection that makes them so strong. Every game, every play set by
so?
Shark.
Yeah,
is
they're
followed up
1-1
immediately
in
by Hoon and Bessler with that immense damage, and maybe Zane's team
Okay, yeah,
just needed a little
their
bit
gold
of
lane
that
probably
connection,
isn't up to par, but
every
I
incredible
think their
game
jungle
has
is really
an
good.
incredible player, and
Who's
today
Slimy
we have the MVP for
I
the
don't
first
know. I have no
matchup
idea who they are.
going to Hoon.
I
Now,
come in
Hoon
versus
with that
Gosu, I think Gosu
engages
was this, right?
every
Like,
early game,
Probably.
putting so much
Mhm.
pressure
Yeah,
on
they
that
are.
map, right, guys?
I guess we'll
Yeah,
go with the
and this is
final.
what we were saying
final
before,
doesn't
as
take too long,
Hoon has,
No,
this
they're
has been the
tomorrow.
eternal struggle between the two, like I want to say,
Pretty
like
sure it's tomorrow.
highlight players,
got
being
10.
it Zane
Yo,
or
Vic,
Hoon,
they
and
got
Hoon
50
especially
cans or
in that
nothing.
first
What are you
game,
saying?
the amount of
Dude, this is the
quick
new age. This is the
rotating
new kids.
ability.
Gen
As
Z,
soon
bro.
as he rotated down,
Yeah, the
immediately
nigga
laid
said,
down the
"Don't
feathered
start
airstrike, and
gentlemen
then was
as
right back to the mid lane. It was just, it's the maximum amount of like it's textbook for what you need to be doing for as a Farja player. He checked all the boxes for that.
Yeah, and that Farsa pick was huge for him. I totally agree. And if Hoon didn't take the MVP, I mean, he deserved it. Don't get me wrong. Shark's a close second, right? Though those two together, I think, really spelled doom for the side of
The head
BTK
boost?
and really owned the river, and that allowed them. Zane, who was walking into his jungle, they just
That
pick
nigga
him,
was
they
still playing out of
agitate
his
him,
mind,
and
I'm
they
gonna
get
be
in those
real.
That
fights.
doesn't matter. You're telling me that's cap.
That nigga was definitely playing the best.
For sure,
No,
guys,
no,
and
yo,
it really
you
shows
think
that
that would
this
have made a
game is
difference,
all
though?
about
Yo,
team
Dez,
synergy. At
would
this
you be able
level,
to-
all the players
would you
are
able to
incredible,
R7
so it
kick
really
on
comes
link,
down
bro,
to
on
which team
uncensored
pulls it
MS?
together the
Yeah, I
best.
think that's
But
insane, but
Right now,
if he had
Mage
110
was
MS, bro,
done.
hey
Coming
man,
back from the
who might
break,
have said
we
he
will
didn't?
have Ackerman versus our
Yeah.
crowd favorite
That
Team
nigga was
Gosu,
crazy on
and
it.
will Gosu make an epic comeback? We will
Screenshot
find
and
out
all?
after the short break.
Wow,
Snack,
dude,
and
that
we will
nigga was
see
crazy
that
on an 110, man.
It's looking good, though.
Yeah, he's playing the best, 100%.
No buzzing. No buzzing.
New
No
buzzing.
buzzing. That's not fucked up. Bro, this nigga
Dude, they do. Nah. Bro, but that's his fault though. That's his fault. The way he acts whenever he goes for tourneys, that's his fault, bro. That nigga won one game and instantly started pointing to his watch. You're tripping. He asked for it, bro. No, that's fucked up, but it is what it is.
I'll watch Jordan.
I don't know. What time do they play? Fucking hell. I don't think I'm gonna be streaming. Okay, never mind. I'm not gonna stream for that long. What the fuck? I'm gonna go play Honor of Kings or something.
I guess we'll watch that shit later. What's next? Yeah.
I have no idea
Next
what's
is
next.
Gosu versus Ackerman.
Alright, I'll see you
I
later,
don't really give
stream.
a fuck about Zia or Cuz.
We got disappointed as fuck today. I'll see you guys later, stream.
Alright. Yo, Lucy, we missed you.
Yeah, you gotta reserve that for Chuka. Chuka misses you as well. I'm gonna tell him right now.
Don't worry. I have a lot of love for everyone.
Oh, word?
Yo, big beard. Nah, I don't drink, bro. Yeah, I'm about to eat. Beard.
Word.
Salad to eat. Don't worry, son. I'll come next week. Say less, bro.
What?
What movie? Damn, we're gonna watch Puss in Boots, bro. The new one. Niggas said Puss in Boots? Nah, that's crazy. No, that shit is fire. That shit is fire. That shit is fire.
1.3K Turk.
Alright, what's good, gang?
Yo, what's up, bro? How's the stream going?
Decent. I'm done streaming now, though.
Okay.
I watched the Ohio Brothers versus BTK. Pardon me?
Wait, how many games did you play?
I watched 2 games. It was Hoon versus BTK. BTK folded. Or,
Yeah. No.
yeah, I was watching with Loyalty. And, wow. Yeah, not close at all. Plus, second game, draft diff to the next fucking universe. So,
Ohio Brothers on top?
unfortunately.
I don't think that's bad.
Pardon me?
I don't think that's a bad thing.
It's not a bad thing, but it's sad to see. Because I wanted it to be, I don't know, a game. It was kind of a stomp. Joy Bosch was playing really good on fucking Cho the first game, but apparently he was lagging. So he got subbed out for Theo, and then Theo played like Theo. So, yeah. Plus they drafted like garbage. They traded Wanwan and Faramis for Fredrin. And, well, fucking Zane was like 1v9ing on Fredrin, but nigga, that doesn't matter. The rest of your team is getting shit on by Wanwan and Faramis. Yep. And then finally, when Theo hit like a really good jump on Kufra onto fucking best player on Hayabusa at Lord, it was huge. And then Faramis clicked Purify and ulted last second, and Farsa couldn't kill fucking best player, and they still took Lord and they lost. So, here's what it is. Don't let Faramis through, especially if you ban Valentina. Lol. All right, let's go play HOK, guys.
I would vote the need to ban it in ranked season. I don't like that champion.
I don't like it either, except when I'm playing it. But even playing it is kind of It's just cringe to play.
It's too good.
It is really, really fucking good, bro. That shit saves games, man. And then late game, that shit feels impossible to play against.
Oh yeah, that's the only reason we lost that last game. We just played.
For him to salty, bro.
Damn, he runs so fast.
Alright, how into the game are you guys right now? How many minutes?
We're doing really good.
Okay.
8 minutes.
Okay.